Going live. Hi guys, this is Nikki, also known as Faces Trader. And tonight you have a special guest. We have a special guest. Her name is Aileen Albano, and she's a mom. And she's gonna teach us how a mommy makes money while sleeping with Awesome10X system. So let's begin. Maybe you can describe to us what your daily day is, and just how difficult is it truly as a mom to be an Awesome10X member? Go.
Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Aileen Albano. So, how difficult is it as a mom to be an Awesome 10X member? Okay, I feel like the circumstances of each mom naman is different, right? So, let me tell you what is mine. I have two kids. I have one's turning 14, one's turning 18 years old already. When they were both younger, my husband and I were in really very highly competitive jobs. So we said we needed to prioritize the kids at that time because it was their formative years. So me being the one who was less passionate about my career at that time, I was the one who quit my day job. So now that the kids are grown up and more independent, I have more time, a little bit more time to myself. When I got that, I started dabbling on small businesses. So some are dead, but now I'm working on scaling and franchising at a Fiesta. It's a takeout channel for Barrio Fiesta. So I'm working on the side. This is what my day is like. When I wake up, I allot an hour for myself to exercise, and then I prepare. Since everyone is at home right now and we have no help, I'm the one to cook or to heat food for them. Once our food situation is good, I get ready for work. So I go out to do store visits, or sometimes I just stay at home to do some paperwork. Now, during this time na I'm stuck in traffic, right? This is really where I take the time to listen to Nikki's class. So in Awesome 10X, there are daily classes, daily 1 hour classes, so very short, wherein Nikki would discuss or do a deep dive in a company, right? So this is the time wherein I do that while driving. I listen lang. And then from there, I decide na, okay, is there an action from me? Is this a company that I want to invest on? So I take note of that. Para when I get home, tama yan, I get home around 5:30, exacto, pre-market open. I put in my buy order if I want to invest in that company. Tapos yun na, that will take around 10-15 minutes online using interactive brokers. That's it. And then I continue being a mom. I take the kids out actually for some fresh air, and we do sports. I recap the day with them. Then we go home, we cook dinner. I cook dinner, we eat, I wash the dishes, and then when everyone's done, the house is quiet. Market is open. I log in to check if my buy order went through. Kung hindi, and yun lang. And basically, really just watch the market. There's nothing to do. Kasi the principle here is that you buy and you sleep, right? At most, you watch. That's it. So if you think about it, there are a lot of unproductive times kasi in your day-to-day life, na you can those unproductive times. Yeah, you can integrate it. Very easy to plug in kasi it doesn't take a lot of time. So yun.
Yeah, actually, in one of the earnings reports of Spotify, they actually mentioned that the streaming giants podcasts were soaring because a lot of people, they were saying na in one of their quarterly earnings calls, it was every day was a weekend. So during the pandemic, every day was a weekend because people would listen to chillax music, meditation music, soft, any music. It used to be that people would listen to music when they were going to the work. So usually the car music, and then they will also go back home. But now, even at 10 p.m., 2 p.m., it seems as if people, even when they're cooking, doing household chores, you can just easily plug in and get your news bits through the podcasts or get and they were saying that people prefer listening to news rather than reading the news. So
Yep.
whether it's listening to a market update about the prices, Awesome 10X does help people to actually just listen, so that if you are taking an exercise, that is also one thing that I've heard from Awesome 10X members. They either listen to Awesome 10X when they're driving or when they're cooking or when they're exercising. So they tell me now while they're doing their treadmill, they just plug headphones and listen to Awesome 10X. So that's how they integrate the knowledge they learned in their daily lives. So you mentioned that you quit your job when you were trying to take care of your children, who's now 14 and 18 years old. So now that they're teenagers, well, most of the time, this is such a mommy question. Most of the time, people are said that females are always being asked to make a career versus family choice. Did you kind of feel that when you had to quit your job, a highly competitive field, that you were doing this for your family? I know it's not an Awesome 10X question. Just wondering, was that like all the moms would always say that career is not as important as family, but was it something like that? Hindi naman.
No.
You were also parang ready
I
to start a
yeah,
career in your family life.
I would use that against my husband sometimes. But really, when you think about it, yung decision-making process namin before, it was very fair. It was either, pwede siya, pwede ako. It's just that at that time, I was the one really less passionate about my career. So, it's not that ako yung
Mm.
girl, ako yung mom, ako yung magka-quit. Sinong mas less passionate sa amin at that time? Sino yung ayaw na rin sa ginagawa? So, yun yung
Mm.
decision making. Parang hindi because I'm a girl and I'm, yun yun. So,
It's not about that.
yun. It wasn't about
Okay,
that. In
so
fairness to my husband.
no, not a problem. How do you actually integrate what you've learned? Kasi diba, you're a professional career woman. You quit your work. You integrated, as you said, online franchising businesses. You invested globally right now with Awesome 10X system. How does it all parang, would you say that investing globally is something easy for you because of course you've had an extensive career in the past as a professional, tama ba, your background is more on the software tech field, right? So IT,
I
professional IT.
Yeah, I was IT, but I was doing a lot of project management, program management, and all of that. So yeah.
So, kasi you were in a stressful, I'm not sure if it's really stressful, but you're in a high, fast changing field, diba? IT and all that. So, how would you say investing globally at home and then spending some time? Well, they're now adults, so iba nga talaga yung situation if you have probably a 2-year-old child or a 3-year-old child, no? Mas attention grabber sila. How do you integrate the knowledge you've learned in the past as a professional career woman in your now and also being a mom and everything that you've learned into your own portfolio today? Was it all parang, so I'm gonna like give a few hints, diba? You are interested in a lot of shopping related companies. You had a lot of e-commerce in your portfolio. Is it because of
Mm-mm.
your prior knowledge, or is it just kasi at the end of the day, personal convictions come from on your own experience din siguro kasi you're trying to do a lot of online businesses.
Okay. Ako, I think it was a breath of fresh air that this doing this global investing is sobrang less stressful relative to and relative to the returns that I'm getting, right? So yun. So, actually, sobrang I don't want to even merge it kasi parang ito, sobrang simple lang. In fact, I needed to unlearn a lot of things that I've learned from my professional background. Kasi ito, I live by 3 simple rules. Actually, like, number 1, you invest on secular trends. Right? Kasi like, before, ano lang yan, invest on secular trends, never sell winners, at saka portfolio diversification. Parang I don't want to even, I need to unlearn a lot of things actually and just stick by those. Kasi like number 1, invest on secular trends. If not for Awesome10X, and if not for Awesome10X, when I would have gotten into global investing, I would have gone for the big names, like the Teslas, the Apples, and the Amazons of the world, because those are the companies that I'm familiar with, and those are the companies that I know, right? So, I wouldn't have realized that these are expensive companies already, right? Because they're very mature na. So I would have gotten in late. What you do actually for me is that you identify the future Teslas, game changers, and disruptors, right, in the business. So these are really the secular trends. And then we get to invest on them while they're just starting. And in a way, I can link it back in my my IT background kasi parang all of these digitization and all of that,
digital transformation.
Digital transformation, big data, analytics, all of that. Parang, diba, that's the future, and I'm also seeing it right here as a secular trend. Those are the secular trends that you are identifying. So parang nagme-marry naman siya. So, but what's good is that since you're able to identify these companies, big winner companies, early in the stages of their business, we get to go in and invest while it's cheap pa lang, right? So the return of investment is going to be bigger, right? So, without Awesome10X, I would not have known about solar, clean energy, cannabis, electric vehicles, blah, 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 blah. Because you know what? Because this wasn't my area of interest. Because I was like into beauty, e-commerce, yun lang yung alam ko before. Yun.
Mm-hmm.
Tapos,
actually, some clients have mentioned, some clients actually told me na watching Awesome10X classes helped them in their businesses, even if it wasn't a direct stock pick. So, several people said that watching Awesome10X was like watching news, getting updated with technology. They were saying na how would they know about LiDAR? How would they know about wearables? How would they know about voice assistants? Electric vehicles, they probably have known because of Tesla. But they would not have known about the intricacies of investing in lithium miners. They wouldn't have known about the intricacies of how big the battery storage market was. I've heard those testimonials even from people who are working in some of the industries that we mentioned. So, example, we mentioned cybersecurity and 5G. I have a client who actually works in a 5G related company. So, I guess what one client told me was he was surprised that he could learn so much in Awesome10X simply by listening, and then really dig up on companies that he really loves. Like if he loves secular trends like solars, personally, they just dig the entire industry, reconfirm the biases that I have, get the real facts, and that's what makes them have high conviction on them, and why making 100 to 200% and more on these trends was almost an inevitable outcome. It was not about, so making money while sleeping was something that they were so confident about, and they like the fact that they're all astonished that even if we are diversified, that we can actually generate so much returns that they never thought was possible. Could you actually explain to the moms out here what kind of returns are they and you are benefiting in having Awesome 10X? What type of returns are these really 10X returns? Is 10X a marketing spiel? Or is it really something that you can see your own portfolios to become? You don't need to give numbers. Probably share to them your 10X journey. How many months? How much return, if any? Mga ganon.
Sige. I started back in September 2020. Tapos, ganito na lang. If I knew about Awesome 10X beforehand, before I started these small businesses, I probably would not have started them. Because the returns relative to the effort I put in, here really far outweighs what I get in the small businesses that I've invested into. So at first actually parang in terms of returns and how the improvement in my portfolio nung una nakakalula talaga. I was so surprised, but I was surprised kasi it's so high. And then natatakot din ako kasi parang wow, it's so high. Is this real? This is even real? Is this legitimate? Is this legitimate? Parang, and then parang after a while, actually nalungkot ako eh. I felt sad kasi I realized kaya ganun yung reaction ko, kaya takot and skepticism yung reaction ko dun sa returns, the amount of returns. Kasi I was so used to the Philippine economy. Yeah, mediocre returns. And parang nasad ako kasi parang na-cap yung possibilities ko by the cap of the Philippine market and the Philippine economy pala. Yun yung big realization ko. And parang inisip ko, imagine 40 years or sige, sabihin natin 2030, na-limit talaga yung possibilities ko. To what? To 20 to 30% annualized profit. Sobrang saya na ako noon in my my business. At most 100%. I have not even done that in any of the small businesses that I've ventured into. So nalungkot ako kasi parang sayang. I should have learned about this pala. So the same amount, conservatively, I've seen it in my portfolio, kaya yon in a quarter. And I've seen it, multiple times pa in the portfolios of other people. So yun. So actually, kaya rin I'm here kasi typically I don't want to do testimonials, but I'm here to tell my story kasi parang as a means to pay it forward, parang I realize kasi I'm 40. In fact, I'm 20 years too late Kasi if I really wanted, this can be my retirement, right? Parang if I really want retirement, I should have been doing this siguro as early as mid-20s. Kaya nga, my kids, I'm introducing the idea of the stock market to them na at this early stage.
Yeah.
So yun.
Actually, you've pointed out quite a lot of interesting insights, and whether it's regrets or advice. You said a while ago na now you realize that investing in secular trends is the way to go. You never sell winners because winners win, and you always diversify. Could you actually explain? You said that you had regrets, diba? 20 years ago, you should have been investing globally. There's been so much technology, and not just technology, entertainment, streaming, so much money to be made in the world, and you feel sorry for yourself for being content with mediocre returns. Because guys, for those who are watching this show, we're talking about mediocre returns when you can't even 10x in a decade. Because we're talking about, let's say, if you've invested early in an Amazon 20 plus years ago, your $10,000 is $16 million. Or let's say you assuming you invested $10,000 in Tesla, or let's say, just to be clear, it was an $18 IPO, it's now $3,000 today. your $18,000 is $3 million. So those kinds of returns are unimaginable for a normal person. I think most people thought that, I won't make money in an Amazon. I won't make money in a Tesla because I wasn't early. Let's say you invested in Tesla just 5 years ago. Well, the reality is Tesla still managed to 10x. So about 5 years ago, you've been buying $250, or even just 2 years ago. 2 years ago, 2019, you will be able to have bought it at $200. It's now $3,000. That would be 15x. But it's not really about Tesla. Let's compare about just last month. Last month, you'd have seen a company like Xiaopeng Motors. XPeng is a company that Awesome10X has. We've been actively buying at about $20. Today, it's trading at about $50. It was $75 just a few days ago. So you'd have made 100% simply by identifying that there is a secular trend in electric vehicles. And you could make money not simply on Tesla, but with the entire competitive market, just like how Apple was the market dominator, but Xiaomi existed, Huawei existed, Oppo phones, and all the smartphones. Similarly, if you have the cars, then you'll have solars. I should stop talking about secular trends. I was supposed to ask you a question. You said that you
were
regret.
You were asking me to expound more on what I said, never sell winners and portfolio diversification. Yun.
Yun. Go. Expound.
Okay, actually, diba, going back, I said, simple lang talaga. And parang there are a lot of things to unlearn. So don't get overwhelmed, because when you get into Awesome10X, I think the first thing that you need to do is actually to unlearn stuff that you learned in your active income. Kasi for example, I said, diba, invest on secular trends, and Nikki has talked about what those trends are. Once you get into investing on secular trends, the hardest part is to never sell your winners. Right? Oh. Because you know what? Once you identify and invest on winners, parang, ano kasi yan eh, I feel like, yung mga bago, at least for me when you think of stock market, the first thing that comes to mind is that it's trading, right? You have to buy and sell to earn. Buy and sell, in and out to earn. At least that was my mindset before, So I really had to take a step back and understand ano ba yung long-term wealth creation. It's really parang buy and sleep talaga to. You buy and do nothing because you let these companies do the job for you and earn their profit, and then you earn, right? Sobrang iba yan sa active income mindset. Parang now, the more you in your portfolio nga, I feel as a beginner, parang the more I touch it, the more I'm prone to make mistakes eh. So talagang watch lang ako ngayon. Parang once I buy, I watch. No touch. If I cannot not touch, I don't watch anymore. Parang ganon. I just really let it be. So that's never selling winners. And then the next principle that I learned is portfolio diversification. And for me, this really enables you to do rule number 2. Why? Because, diba, if we invest only in one sector, right? And you know what? The journey of a company, miski pataas, a winner, pataas naman the trend eh, because Nikki picks really good companies. Pero, sometimes there will be pullbacks kasi there will be pullbacks. Pero, so, yun yung mas mahirap kasi when there are pullbacks, you panic and you tend to sell. Pero if you are diversified and you are invested on several sectors, chances are when there's a pullback in one, up naman yung isa eh. So your portfolio will still be up overall. And then because of that, you tend not to mind the pullbacks. And kasi yun yung pinakamahirap eh, to not do anything when there's a pullback in the sector that you've invested on. So, yun. Sobrang simple lang actually. Yun.
A lot of people say that it sounds like a scam when we show portfolios with triple digit gains. Even in the last 3 months, could you share to them? I know it's surreal, but what is the hardest? And so your hardest lesson is to never sell winners. How hard it is to never sell a winner? What kind of returns are you seeing in these winners that it's mentally hard because you're up this much and then people are saying don't sell. How hard
Yeah.
is that never sell winners kind of return? Nama-marshmallow test kayo niyan, no? How
Yeah,
much?
kasi, I mean, in
100%?
several, 100%, 120, 130 in a matter of 3 days. Diba? Parang nung
That was
nag-break
what?
out
Charge
yun.
point, Palantir,
Charge
Charge point,
point,
Palantir,
Xpeng.
Unity,
Tapos parang titignan mo yung
Xpeng.
portfolio mo. Parang, out na ako. Okay na to. Parang I've never earned this much money. Actually, even in a year. So parang, out na. So actually, the hardest lesson talaga is to really
How to keep
always,
it.
how to keep. And ang natutunan ko is if you always have to anchor yourself back whenever there's parang there's a want to sell, you always have to anchor back to ano ba talaga your goals coming into Awesome 10X. And this is long term, and it's really, at least for me, it's long term wealth creation, right? And but it's very difficult kasi especially for me, and I suppose for a lot of people, kasi we're all coming from a very active income mindset. What does it mean? I bet a lot of people here are employees, are either employees or business owners, right? So, sanay tayo na if we want results, if we want good results, we need action, right? Pag walang action, walang results, walang kita. Ganon yung mindset natin eh. Ganon yung mindset ko. So, parang it is very difficult for me na nakikita ko, for example, tumataas or nagpo-pull back. Ang hirap sa akin na walang gawin. Right? So, it's very hard not to sell or not to do anything. When in fact, yun nga yung kailangan gawin.
Okay.
So, this is where... So, yun. This is where
if it's overweight, we have a solution. If it's too overweight, because let's say the initial allocation is 5%, it doubled already, or let's say it was 50%, higher than what your anticipated expectations are. Spend up 50% in a day, sometimes, or 100% in a week. If you position, so if you're $5 over a week's time, people to trim. That's why the portfolio keeps on mushrooming into more and more companies. Reinvested either possible.
Nikki, are you able to repeat that? I didn't catch that. I guess the signal's not. Okay, so I'm the only one. My interviewer. I lost my interviewer. Sige, so I'll just continue. So I was saying a while ago, right, in terms of mindset. So in terms of my learning. So I was saying na if you invest in the stock market with the intent to do with the intent to do long-term wealth creation, there's a certain mindset transformation that needs to happen, right? And I didn't realize that right away. But now, yun nga, there's a mindset transformation kasi nga very active income earners tayo eh. So ang principle dito is buy and sleep. This is where I really found it, and this is where parang si Nikki talaga has mentored us kasi she would keep on harping every time there's a time that you want to sell na, you know, guys, what are your goals here? We're here for the long term. So talagang just sleep and don't touch it. And it's also where kasi being part of the Awesome10X, it's not just Nikki, it's not just Anton. You're actually going to be part of a larger community. And in any mindset transformation that that you will undergo, you really have to be surrounded with the people who are in the same mindset transformation journey as you. So that's one thing that's very important also. Kasi the people in this community, either they've gone ahead already, so they can assist newbies like me, and there are also newbies like myself na it's also, I really appreciate that undergoing the same journey kasi parang we all ask the same medyo stupid questions, okay lang, right? Tapos parang the emotions that we're feeling, pare-pareho pala, like when there are red days, when there are green days. So it's really vital for me to be surrounded, to be part of a community. That is Awesome10X also.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back, Nikki.
Yeah, I'm back. You know, a lot of people have always feared this global investing, and I'm actually happy that you took the step to actually learn global investing. And you mentioned a while ago that the returns that you are making passively, just sleeping, no action needed, is determined because of those secular trends, which we actively study about. So, can you briefly explain to them what is this Awesome10X make money while sleeping? Step 1, step 2, step 3. How easy is it? Your personal life, how easy does it look like?
Well, if step 1, you attend Nikki's classes every day. That's just 1 hour. No. Actually, step 1, you enroll, right? You enroll to Awesome10X. And you know what? There's a subscription fee of 2,000 a month. At first, parang iniisip ko, kailangan mabawi ko yon sa returns ng investment ko. Pero ngayon, sa sobrang, the returns are huge. I don't even think about that subscription fee anymore. Yun. So, subscribe. Right? Meron pa tayong swipe up. Walang ganon. Anyway, tapos...
Wala tayong swipe eh. Oh.
Tapos, yun, every day, ang homework is to attend Nikki's classes because that's where she would deep dive each company. Tapos, you decide kung may action item ka, kung gusto mong mag-buy, edi, you log in, you place your buy order. Tapos, yun na yun. Ano pa ba? Wala na. Kasi nga, dapat you buy and sleep lang. You're allowed to watch. You're allowed to watch your stocks go up. Yun, ganun lang. Yun lang. Oo.
Ganun lang kadali. Okay. Nasisira yung phone ko. Kaya maghawakan ko na lang. Ayun. Nag-charge lang ako. Ano bang pag-uusapan natin? So, we've determined that a mom can make money investing. What are the first picks na until now, yun pa rin daw ang nasa port mo? Teaching Rose is asking. Ano yung mga first picks na hawak mo pa rin? Na let go? Can you hear me? Narinig mo ba?
Yes.
Okay. That was the question.
All right. Difficult. Ano to ha? Kasi I have several firsts eh. You know, I already know kasi before, years before, that it is a must to invest in the stock market. So I did I did the Singapore stock market, Philippine stock market. So, and those are all busts, right? Because parang I was clueless when I got into it. Kaya yung mga first picks ko doon, wala na. Huwag na natin sila pag-usapan. But if I may, yung to describe those companies, talagang dinosaur companies. Kaya talagang hindi siya gumalaw. Walang profit until loss na siya. So sobrang kaya nalaman ko right away when I got into Awesome10X kasi my first picks Xpeng. Remember that, Nikki? I was so parang ano ba to? Ano ba tong pinapabili mo? Pero sige, I will follow Nikki because this is all new to me. So at some point I really just must follow. XPEV and electric vehicles and switchback, ang tagal ko na yan hawak. So, well, no, ang tagal to me is 3
So
months.
XPEV was your first pick pala. Okay, hawak mo pa.
Oo, hawak ko. At saka,
okay, that's a 300% return in 3 months.
Unity. Yun, sobrang funny pa no kasi parang ano ba to, video games. Parang, video games. So parang,
100%
sige,
in 3 months.
At least my son was so proud of me kasi, wow, mom, alam mo yung video games. Sabi ko, hindi. Pero now I'm learning because of Nikki, so I invested on it. Okay, natuwa lang ako. I invested on Funko. Funko Pop, andun pa rin siya. Doon lang ako nakarelate out of the secular trends that you mentioned. Yun. And then, andyan pa rin siya. The thing is with Nikki, or with Awesome10X, akala mo, yung pick is, mali na. In fact, natutulog lang siya. And Nikki kasi really is able to pick it right away, very early on. So parang wala ako masyado talagang natatandaan na tinapon kasi mali. Kaya ngayon, medyo madami rin yung picks ko. Pero also because that, kasi in the of diversification also, kaya marami na. Okay. Yun.
Yung mga children mo ba, nagtataka sila sa galing ng nanay nila? Pag nakikita nila yung portfolio, pinagmamalaki mo ba? Do you show your husband? Nag-show off ka sa husband mo? Or sa kids mo? Na, oy, I can earn money like you. Ganon.
Yeah.
May ganon bang conversation?
Oo. Kasi also, parang nakikita din, again, I want to start them early on Kasi parang hindi kasi to naturo sa akin. Diba? Parang so, hindi ko alam na parang yung hard-earned money pala ng asawa ko. Pwede pala yun ma-invest in really bigger companies that will scale and will give you unimaginable result. Oo. Akala ko dati, what we earn from our active income, I will put up a business, ilalagay as capital in the business. Tapos yung business, ang hirap-hirap kumita. Yun talaga yung mindset ko dati. So parang, I really share it to my kids para lang to open up the possibilities to them at such an early age. Tapos I realized na, you know what, my kids' friends, their parents actually give them already, so they have American friends, and they actually receive stocks as gifts. Yan yung the type that I only hear about, pero palang nangyayari na pala. So parang, yan na naman, nasad na naman ako and na-frustrate kasi parang I'm so late in the game. So I don't wanna make the same mistake. At least I don't want my kids to make the same mistake.
Yeah. Nawawalan ako ng net everybody has always had their regrets. But ako naman personally, I also have my own regrets. Pero we always emphasize na it's not about the opportunities you missed in the last 2 decades or the last 2 years. It's all about the opportunities in the next 10 years. So can you explain to the viewers why they should invest globally? What types of opportunities are, have so much runway that they should invest so that they will never regret the feeling na, why didn't I invest? I mean, can you show to them, to all the viewers out there, there's mommies out there who doesn't approve of investing today because number one, they're so afraid. What do you think they should do to take that right step? We always say the power of small stuff. It doesn't take $100,000. It just takes $1,000 to start. Yeah, so maybe give them your advice. As a mom, what should all the viewers do? The 10x opportunities in the next 10 years.
Okay, where do I start?
Could you
Okay.
give your own parang assessment?
Sige, yung my favorite na lang kasi yun yung my portfolio, 'di ba? Parang electric vehicles and yun muna. Na-amaze ako dito kasi parang it is not parang if I did not do Awesome10X, I wouldn't, and I don't really read the news, diba? So malay ko ba na nangyayari na yan in other countries. So talagang electric vehicles, yung mga may charging stations, so instead of gasoline and all of that, talagang all electric, all going green, all clean energy. So parang imagine, it's already happening in the US pala. It's reality, hindi to parang an idea. Ganyan. There's the Tesla, but you know what? The company that I've invested on is the Tesla of China. But imagine how big the market is in China, diba? So to be able to invest on the Tesla of China at this early on. Pero yun yung big economies pa lang. Imagine you are getting a preview na of what's happening there and what can potentially happen pa in the rest of the world. So the fact that it's not yet happening in the rest of the world, that's your that's your possibility. So yun. Yun. Ano pa ba? But as solars, actually solars a little bit parang meron na here in the Philippines. So parang ito mas real na to for us. Pero like I'm so amazed that in the US, they're already requiring new houses and new houses to be solar powered, mandated by law, right? So parang makikita mo na that's pag tinanong mo parang solar panels pang mayaman lang yan, ganyan or whatever, right? Pero makikita mo talaga a preview of the future. Kaya like going back to yung kaninang question, if you're an entrepreneur, sobrang good insight rin yung makukuha mo from Awesome10X kasi parang it opens up your it opens up your possibilities for you kasi nga nakikita mo na what's happening in the bigger economies like US and China. So yun. Okay, yun. Sorry, that's okay. I'm just new to offer.
Okay, let's see the questions. The teaching Rose is saying, I'm in the process of picking out what will be the best stocks to include in my portfolio. So Awesome10X actually has an entire portfolio construction classes wherein every month I assist people in the September group, October group, November group, December group, June, July, actually any month naman. We prove to people that we can show you outperformance. We can choose companies that are not yet being appreciated as thoroughly as the market should. So the ideal number of stocks should actually be related to the size of your portfolio. So sometimes it could be just 30 names, it could be 50 names. It really depends how huge your portfolio is. But let's say the portfolio is about $10,000. I'd say start with 20 companies, around $500 each. If you graduate to the $100,000 format, probably own 30 companies. Some people go 30 companies or 50 companies. I think if you're in $1 million ideal number, we always explain that there's no such really an accurate answer. Ikaw, Aileen, how many stocks ka na raw? What's the number of stocks? Do you have any idea how many stocks you already have today?
Around 30 to 40. I really tried to keep it down. Pero parang ang dami kasi ni Nikki eh. And really, yun lang. I think the teaching roles were starting out. So, oo, parang yung mga picks ko probably will not be your picks na rin. Kasi I started different time eh. So, you listen nga to Nikki for all the new picks and she'll help you build your portfolio as you start it now. Ideal number of stocks. Ako ngayon, parang for me, 30 to 40. Kaya kong bantayan. Yon. Kasi parang hindi naman yan 30 to 40 iba-ibang sector eh. So, nasa ano yan, parang 2 to 3 per sector. So, when I say bantayan, it means really understanding, keeping up with what's happening in that sector, right? Like in the solars, in EVs, in wearables. If you think about it, siguro mga 7 sectors, ganyan. So, kaya mo na alamin. Saka parang ngayon, exciting rin to keep up on what's happening on those sectors. Ganyan.
There's Lisa. She's watching from Laguna. She says, I'm very interested. Am I not late? I can answer this, but you can also add if you want. Definitely, you aren't late. Just recently, we were sharing about a great company. We were sharing about this fintech company that's actually been so Clue. The clue is this founder is part of the
Okay, I think we lost Nikki. Short answer is you're never late. So always when you start, since there are so many, you cannot imagine. Kasi parang dati din nainggit ako na I thought, oh no, late na kasi nag-crash na, 'di ba? Yung market nung COVID. So pagpapasok ako September na, 'di ba mataas na yung price ng stocks. Pero talagang you really have to listen to Nikki kasi ang daming possibilities, ang daming new companies that are just being introduced, are doing their IPOs just December. So you're never gonna be late. Today or tomorrow is always the perfect time for you to start.
I need to answer some of those questions. No, number one, people have to understand that some companies were born 7 years ago, 8 years ago. So there's a company that's getting listed. You will be happy to be a part of this company's next 10 years. They're a point of sale solution company. The founder is part of the PayPal Mafia Group. You know, the first PayPal Mafia Group is Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, and ta-da! Clue, he is a PayPal Mafia founder. That is an IPO upcoming this December. And this company enables you to buy now and pay later. The business model is really disrupting credit card financing. And they help with merchants. They partner up with merchants like Adidas, Walmart, Peloton. They help these to turn that window shopper to become a buyer by giving flexible, affordable plans. That is a company getting listed this December. Similarly, how early are you when you're investing simply in the, data analytics, for instance? How much billions of data and trillions of data are being harvested today? Did it happen 10 years ago, or was this happening in about 5 years ago? So, there's a lot of industries. It's not about because you're late. It's really about the fact that the world is changing all the time. And there are platforms that actually are either growing more and more, or they are so central. They're like the nervous system that you cannot live without them. So I'll name drop a few companies that you feel that you're late, but you're still not. Sample. So you've missed out on Amazon. Yes, $10,000 is $16 million today. But will you miss out on the opportunity to own the Amazon and the gaming platform of Southeast Asia? Who is the biggest winner on this pandemic when you are a Filipino or a Southeast Asian? The answer would be C Limited. And in the last 3 years, C Limited, which is Shopee, the owner of Shopee and Garena, has only grown a little bit from $10 to 177, 18x your money in just 3 years. Now you might say, isn't that a bubble? $10 to $180. But what you should understand is that this company started Shopee just 5 years ago, 2015. So even if, let's say, you wanted to invest in Shopee 2017 or 2018, you couldn't only buy it before because it just got listed 2 years ago. Diba? So 3 years after creating Shopee, they started to list. And of course, when they listed, Shopee wasn't the only business that they had. They were the owner of Free Fire, of Garena, for those playing Dota, so this company has been growing and growing, and it hasn't been stopping. In fact, they are overtaking shopping. How much is online shopping as a percentage in Southeast Asia? The answer is less than 3%, less than 1% even for some countries. So I think the question of are you late is a matter of, number one, what company are we talking about? Because even in an e-commerce trend, Amazon is not the only one. There are many winners in that e-commerce trend. So the answer really is you're not late. You just really have to, Awesome10X tells you actually a lot of insights. Aileen, maybe give them not the cliche beauty pageant answers. Can you give them actually some facts that you've actually invested upon? Yung mga tipong, I learned from you na sabi mo, I just feel that I'm stupid if I don't buy these names. It's just too simple. It's an inevitable winner. Can you kind of explain to them some companies that you own, that you continue to hold and believe upon? Either name drop a company or a simple fact that stops or prevents you from selling that company. So you mentioned a while ago, Xpeng, probably stop with the electric vehicle industry muna. Probably give something that you feel more confident about as well.
Unity.
Games. Okay.
So,
Platforms.
games, this is okay, hindi ko nga alam na may na ganito pala yun, no ba? I thought they were, so Unity, I thought they make games, para a game developer. So, yun pala, Unity provides the platform for developers to develop their own games. So, can you imagine may insight si Nikki here na especially during the pandemic, ang kalaban ng streaming, ang kalaban ng Netflix, hindi kung ano-ano dyan, it's really gaming. And I really believe that kasi kami, if we're not watching on Netflix, we are playing Nintendo Switch, diba? We're playing as a family. So talagang I feel like gaming as an industry, ano pa yan, and it will be here to stay. And parang Unity as the platform to enable that, talagang there's room for scale. Yun, sobra akong believe sa Unity also to have discovered that. Palantir also is big data. So parang this is the company that they said gathered all of the information that allowed the US to capture Bin Laden ba? Tama ba, Nikki? Something like that.
Yeah.
Oo, Bin Laden. So parang big data. So alam mo naman how endless yung possibilities, how powerful data is right now, right? So, and ang dami-daming sectors, industries can use it. So, yun. Top two na not easy.
So, video game and data analytics. SaaS yan SaaS firms. Are there concepts that, is there a concept na nagulat ka? So, I remember some classmates, they weren't aware that medical cannabis was a thing. Was it something that you knew already or because Awesome10X? What kind of classes yung hindi mo alam tapos nalaman mo lang because of Awesome10X? Na safe pala to, hindi pala to chow-chow na sector.
I guess, yeah, cannabis. Parang, actually, one of the early, ko rin yan, interest areas Kasi parang, I am not, parang yung medical marijuana, right? Parang, especially, I forgot, Charlotte's Web, I think, your deep dive there, wherein the CEO really described how it's life-changing for people who are sick, how it really makes their quality of life, improve their quality of life. So parang ako, I'm all for that. Kasi, diba, yun, parang ko there's opportunity there talaga. Tapos nung, it was such a big thing kasi si Harris, nung Biden and Harris, tama ba? The administration is very supportive of the legalization of marijuana. So that also became
science
very
kasi,
interesting.
facts versus opinion. So we were really explaining the science behind it. So you can really see how medical cannabis is actually a life-changing drug. It's not the recreational drugs that people are thinking of. So there was really a lot of education that had to happen in the market, but also to investors as well. How should we end this thoughts? Do you have like final advice or, I remember a student said na he was always inspired coming into Awesome10X. Basta when he has a bad day, he'll just go to the Viber group and then wala na. After reading so many thoughts, happy na siya. He's inspired. He's inspired every day to save money, to invest in his interactive brokers. And he actually told me na he can see himself actually hitting $1 million. And sabi niya, I never thought that it was possible. But Awesome10X made it clear to me that I can hit that. The $10,000, $20,000 over time, I could really hit $1 million. Have we ever inspired you in that manner? Na parang, you said a while ago, Awesome10X mindsets, long-term wealth creation.
As a last thought, I guess kasi the people who are listening in are really skeptics, right? Interested enough to be listening in, but a little bit skeptical. Parang I won't na lang give promises of large money, but there is talaga. Pero you know what? At the end of the day, simplify your thought process in terms of deciding whether you join or not. Right? Kasi ako yung thought process ko noon was 2,000 pesos subscription. Ang cheap ko. 2,000 pesos subscription. Gusto ko nga lang mabawi yun Diba? Masaya na ako. So, sabi ko lang, if I really want limpak na sa lape, dapat lakihan ko din my risk. Parang 2,000 nga is not such a big risk if you think about it. Kasi I'm looking for such tremendous returns Diba? So, yun lang. Dun pa lang isipin nyo na. Kasi you have to take the first step. Ako, like, when my friend introduced this to me, I was really skeptical. Pero I was thinking, okay, 2,000, I've spent that on a shirt that I actually don't need now because I'm stuck at home. Pero parang to find out about this kind of possibility that they're telling me, ganyan, 10x, sige, okay, fight. Kasi you really have to take the first step. And taking the first step is just joining Awesome10X. Yun lang yun. So, call to action, very clear. For me, if you're new here and a skeptic, join and check it out for yourself. This 2,000 subscription, if it's not for you after a month, stop mo. Diba? Nawalan ka ng 2,000, pero baka kasi magkaroon ka ng 10x pag your money. Parang sulit na sulit siya. Yun lang. Yun. I'll end with that.
Actually, parang maraming nga nagsasabi na they can just make money watching the show. Did you start off actually just by watching the show? Or nag-Awesome 10X ka kagad? Did you watch the free Friday classes?
I heard about it from a very good friend, so a trusted friend. So dun pa lang, this guy naman will not get into ano lang diba? So yun, tapos I watched your free YouTube channel. Tapos sabi ko, okay, gets ko naman so far what she's saying. Okay, I want to learn more. So I subscribe. Yun lang yun.
Sige. Actually, guys, there's a cheap way to understand Awesome 10X. If you want to verify whether Awesome 10X is fit for you, just go to the Awesome 10X YouTube channel. You will kind of feel a lot of regret because usually this is really what happens. You'd see that we feature a company 7 months ago or 3 months ago or 2 months ago, and you look at the prices 3 months ago versus this month's price. Either it's up 100% or it's up 50% or it's up 200%. Meaning, if you bought simply on the day we featured, why we said it was an Awesome 10X name, you listened to the class, you executed, even if it was $300 of your money, take a look at your portfolio 5 months after, or even just 1 week or 2 weeks after, you'd already see if Awesome 10X results are real or fake. Just go to Awesome 10X, watch the show. You are here in the future. If you want to see whether what we were saying last month, last week, you can make money. Can you really make money? I highly give you I have like a Twitter show. I have a Twitter page, and I've always said that sometimes brutal honesty is better than polite hypocritical politeness. The brutal honest truth here is that you guys are truly missing out. You guys have missed out for the last 10 years, for the last 20 years. Everyone who has not invested globally hasn't just missed out in the last 2 decades. They will continue to miss out in the next 2 decades. Whether it's next 2 years, next 10 days, next 10 years. Actually, it's not really about me making money. I could survive without you guys. That's a brutal, honest truth. But why do we here in Awesome 10X actually teach you to make money? Because Filipinos really, as a family, I surmise if I help one person, that person helps another person. It's great to have a business wherein everyone makes money. I could be rich, but everyone around me isn't. That's not a good business. It's good to actually share the wealth, share money-making ideas to people. If I get the 2,000 peso subscription fee for a month, that's nothing. Some clients would even pay me more, even for just a single month, because I enable them to earn more than what that 2,000 peso subscription fee is. You'll learn a lot. More importantly, you'd also earn. That is not a promise, but 99% confidence interval that you will earn money. Go with Awesome 10X. We don't promise, but learn something. Do something for yourself before the year ends. We shower so many testimonials, and I hope that it's not an empty promise. You can just check it out talaga for yourself. Look back, check all the videos. I actually want you to check all the videos. It's for free in YouTube channel. See whether our picks are really outperforming. So, yun lang. Tama ba yun? So, yabang ba nun? Mayabang minsan ang Awesome 10X. May pagmamayabang naman. Ano pa bang sasabihin natin? Ayun lang. So, we hope to have a lot of viewers. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share Awesome 10X to your friends and family. And wanted to shout out to our current members to continue sharing the wealth to your other friends and family. And Merry Christmas to all of you. Christmas gift giving season. Give the wealth, give the power of investing in global stocks. So I think that is one thing that you would be able to do for your children. But before you can teach your children, learn it yourself. Awesome 10X Kids Camp, forgot to share this. We have an Awesome 10X Kids Camp this December 5. We actually made a preview last week of how we are going to teach your children, even as young as 7 years old, to learn how to choose companies that they would invest in, wherein they'll buy and sleep at it. They will not sell it. So they'll only sell it if they really want to. Pero selling is not encouraged. It's really never sell. If you have a winner, never sell your winner. Sige, yun lang. Thank you very much, Aileen. Thank you for
You're
thanks for
welcome.
sharing your testimonial. Salamat.